Hey everyone, Matt Jarbo here with a quick update over the Mundane Cat GoFundMe. This is Chance. He is home from the hospital and he is doing much better. Everyone has been so generous so far. For that, I am eternally grateful. You guys have no idea. We're not quite done yet. 6,000 is the goal. We're almost there, and I just really hope you guys can help push it over. We are just over $4,200 in the GoFundMe, and we're almost there, but we need a little bit further of a push. If you can help, please go to gofundme.com/MundaneCat, and thank you again from the bottom of my heart. You guys totally rock. Thanks. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and this story is going to be one that's a little bit difficult to cover because I'm actually kind of on both sides here. And it's one of those things where I'm more on the side of the creator, but I understand the business side of it, and I kind of want to talk a little bit about that. So what we have is this controversy popping up with Casey Neistat over a video he put together trying to raise money for the victims of the Las Vegas shooting. And let's be fair here, that was a horrible event, and many people have come together to try to raise money. The official GoFundMe is, I think, around, if not over 10 million at this point. Casey Neistat himself and his GoFundMe has raised several $100,000. These are people that are coming together in this moment of absolute utter tragedy to raise funds for these people who are in need, as well as just recently with the events of Hurricane Harvey and then Hurricane Maria and Puerto Rico and everything else. Right now, America is in this weird state. And people are very generous because of the tragedies that have befallen a numerous amount of people recently. And so it's always good to see YouTubers come together to join forces to try to make money to help people out. Use our platform for good. The problem with that, though, is then we're going up against a corporate entity that doesn't want us to do that, which is why creators are crying foul after YouTube demonetizes Casey Neistat's Love Army Las Vegas video, saying here that YouTube has found itself in hot water today after demonetizing a video from vlogger Casey Neistat, in which he announced his campaign to raise money for injured victims and the families of those killed in the Vegas shooting. Neistat, who also pledged to donate all the ad revenue from the video to the GoFundMe campaign, which has raised nearly $300,000 to date, tweeted his outrage yesterday afternoon with a subsequent response from the YouTube support team explaining that the ads had been removed due to a site-wide policy that demonetizes any videos about tragedies, no matter what their intent is. Saying here, literally a video about charity where I state all AdSense is going to that charity. YouTube says it's not suitable for advertisers. And well, it actually, yeah, the limited ad state is not is not suitable for usually premium top tier advertisers. It's not meaning he's not making any money off of YouTube Red, and he's not making any money off of advertisements that are kind of low paying. In fact, those of us who cover the news, and it doesn't even matter if we cover the news, you can just talk about whatever you want to talk about, and it could be hit with low ads. Right now, the machine learning AI is all over the place. It's being changed constantly. This week in response to Vegas, there's been a lot that's been happening in terms of how they're handling the algorithm due to the fact that fake news stories were actually garnering lots of traffic because they somehow got sucked into the algorithm and then spread around. A video for a channel that would normally get 5,000 views made it up to 2.5 million, and it wasn't a real story. It was about there being more than one shooter. And even the guy who did it was like, yeah, this is YouTube's fault. And any of us who work in this platform, we understand that how the YouTube algorithm kind of works. We're always trying to learn more about it, but that's a lot of how this happened. And so that is where I understand from the creator side of thing of going no, this is frustrating because the limited ads on videos are always frustrating because you effectively make no money outside of YouTube Red. You might make a couple dollars with general ads, but it's really YouTube Red that's going to bring you any kind of significant price from this. And so the 1.3 million views on the video at the time of that screenshot probably had a fair amount pulled in from YouTube Red, which he could then apply to the to the GoFundMe. It's not like Casey Neistat doesn't have millions of dollars. He just sold Beam to CNN for 25 million a few months ago. And even the nearly 1.3 million views might get him $1,000, $2,000. Not that he couldn't put that in from his own money. I understand his complaint here, but at the same time, the realistic aspect of it is that well, it's not a great deal of money It's more the principle, I think, is really what Casey's trying to get to. But at the same time, well, this is what YouTube said in response. So we love what you're trying to do to help, but no matter the intent, our policy is not to run ads on videos about tragedies, which pisses off a lot of us who do news coverage. And that is because what is considered a tragedy? Well, Vegas is clearly a tragedy. Hurricane Harvey is a tragedy. Some people could argue that even this video talking about this particular situation is a tragedy because of who it impacts. Tragedies are oftentimes very subjective. What could be a tragedy to one may not be a tragedy to another. I think pretty much everyone out there agrees that Vegas is a tragedy, but there could be a couple that look at it as just another day in paradise because they're nihilistic assholes. The point I'm trying to get to here is that it's very subjective. It's rarely ever objective. In the case of Vegas, it's more objective than subjective, but the point I'm trying to get to here is that my videos get tagged sometimes for stuff that's not even controversial gets hit. And then things that are controversial don't get hit. Like I did a video talking about Thelma Wilson the other day, the woman who faked her own kidnapping on Facebook. Ads, right? But I do a video talking about, something else that's really not that controversial and limited ad space. So right now it's such a confusing system that we don't really know what's going on. And it's unfortunate that it's so subjective because it depends on whoever, I don't know, the algorithm or whoever's like doing the manual review, so on and so forth. But when it comes to Vegas itself, there are certain keywords that were probably used that were probably going to end up getting the thing flagged. I don't expect this video to be to have ads running on it because of the content. It's not that I'm talking about Vegas directly. I'm talking about something connected to it. But because of how subjective it is, I'm screwed. Now, some other people didn't see it that way. While Neistat retorted that his video was not about the tragedy, it was about the fundraiser, other top-tier creators, including Philip DeFranco and Hank Green, expressed their dismay at the turn of events. DeFranco, who has previously claimed that his videos were being unfairly demonetized, shared an image of Jimmy Kimmel video about the shooting that seemed to serve a pre-roll ad, suggesting hypocrisy was at work. And that is, again, very true. And it's the problem with YouTube right now is that it's not equal. It's not equal. Look at James Corden. James Corden did a video talking about this as well that had ads running on it. James Corden's Carpool Karaoke overtook, I think it was like overtook everything last year. 5 billion views in a year is what it earned on YouTube, even though it was technically running copyrighted songs, but they were able to work the deal and get get it all together. And its popularity allowed it to go on relatively unimpeded. Even though I'm sure that everything was on the up and up, legally speaking, with the team behind Carpool Karaoke. But that was what YouTube was pushing. The Jimmy Kimmel situation right now, Jimmy Kimmel has been brought up quite a bit in terms of the Obamacare situation and everything else involving Trump, and the late night hosts are kind of all on the top page. And it does feel that they're the ones that are given top treatment, and they're the ones that are allowed to have these ads run. Now, here's the reason why the pre-roll ad is important here, because pre-roll ads are premium ads. If it's an overlay ad where it's just like you're watching it and then it pops up 10 seconds in, that's not a premium ad. If it's a video ad, that's where the premium dollars are. If you want to help your favorite content creator when you see one of those premium ads, don't skip it. Wait 30 seconds, then everyone gets paid. Just a little tip from me to you. But that's the whole point here, is that videos about the tragedy aren't allowed to get paid here, and yet this one does. But it's also, you can tell, because of the amount of views it brings in. I mean, it's got 8 million views in the span of like a day. I mean, the only other YouTuber out there that pulls in that kind of stuff would be like iDubbbz. Content Cop pulled in 10 million views in 24 hours. Still wasn't on the trending page because YouTube has made itself more corporate. Not to say that you cannot prosper on this platform, but you have to do it understanding that there is going to be a difference between the community and the company. And the company is not backing the community anymore because there's no money in that. They understand that there is a reason why we're here, why we're allowed to continue what we're doing, but they're not pushing for it like they used to. And that's unfortunate. And that's one of the reasons why I have a feeling someone like Casey Neistat or Philip DeFranco or even Hank Green might come out down the road and create their own platform that is going to try to be a direct competitor to YouTube. I would say at this point, invest into vid.me and see where it goes. So it says here, DeFranco calling out YouTube on this one, and then Hank Green saying, get a better policy, signed everybody. And that's pretty much where we are. Now, when I said I'm on two sides of this, I do want to talk about that. Because when it comes to the whole controversial side of things, like don't talk about controversial issues, we've known about that. That's not anything new. That is a few-year-old policy. There is a channel named Stormcloud's Gathering that's been around for a long time. When they cover wars, they cover war zones, they cover all these things in a very well-edited, stylized package. And when this whole thing came out, this new change, all of their videos were demonetized, but that's what they cover. That's what they do. So they were relying on crowdfunding campaigns basically to keep themselves afloat. And that's what happens a lot of times with YouTubers. We want to cover these issues. We want to cover what's going on. We want to bring you the news, give you our opinion, but then we are kind of stuck at a fork in the road. Do we do that and not earn any money? And this is our job, our career, our livelihood. Our time is valuable to us and it's worth money. Or do we not do that and focus on something else? And a lot of times people will focus on the something else simply because it's just the better business decision, which is unfortunate because then it hinders that creator, that person, from giving their opinion. And if you're asking if I've ever done that, yeah, I have. I do that quite frequently simply because this is my career. This is my business. I have a family to look after. I have other things that, I have to do this. I don't want to. I love to talk about some of these issues, give my perspective. I guess love isn't the right word. People have asked me for my opinion. I'd like to give my opinion, but I also understand that YouTube as a business is trying to placate to the advertisers. As mad as I am at the adpocalypse, that was, entirely a farce put on because of journalists mad at where we are, the new media, if you will, and advertisers basically found themselves with an inch that was able to be taken up to a mile. But at the same time, advertisers do have the right to choose what content they run their ads on. And this is where you get to the corporate side of things, where advertisers have that ability to make that call. They have that ability to determine what they want, how they want it, where they want it, and who they give it to. We as creators are granted a privilege to work on this platform, but there are rules that do need to be adhered to. And unfortunately, this very much boils down to an Animal Farm-like scenario where all pigs are equal, but some pigs are more equal than others. And that is where we find ourselves while looking at the Jimmy Kimmels and the James Cordens and Conan O'Brien's and the Stephen Colbert and the Seth Meyers. And these are people that I do like, not James Corden. I don't think he's funny at all, but other people I love. And they talk about these things and they're able to, earn that ad revenue off there because of their connections with the company. It's unfortunate. It's crappy. It's the way it is. So if you want to talk about these issues, this is the price you are going to have to pay. That is up to you as a creator to make that choice yourself. If you choose to talk about them, you have to know what the consequences are going to be. And if you choose not to talk about them, you have to also know what the consequences are going to be. I'm not mad at YouTube for not monetizing his video. This is a reality I've lived with for years. This is a reality that people like Philip DeFranco have lived with, people like Casey Neistat have lived with. We understand it. It's a bunk system because it doesn't come across as fair or equal. And hopefully, with enough pushback against YouTube, and maybe the advertisers will see that there are views here, that these are sane opinions, that these are not radical fake news, crazy stories, and they will allow the ads to go back. Because in Casey's defense, he was trying to do the charitable thing. But at the same time, and as I did mention before, if you look at the numbers and what he probably earned, he could just pay that himself. So, if it's really about the money, then pay it. Or if it's about the principle, then make it about the principle. And that's where my problem with the story is. It's not so much about Casey Neistat arguing the principle of them demonetizing this kind of content. It's boiling down to the money, which he clearly has more than enough of to cover the difference in cost. Hey guys, that wraps up this video. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do so below. I love to read your guys' input. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really does help me in the YouTube algorithm. If you want to support the channel, there's the Amazon affiliate store, there's PayPal, there's Patreon, there's Bitcoin. And if you're bored and you want something else to watch, check out 3 Buck Theater up here. My name is Matt Jarbo. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a wonderful day. Peace out.